Okay, welcome all three other people to the November 5th MicroProfile technical call. I think since the items are mine, Nathan, it's okay if I just go ahead and run the call?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, since both agenda items, because Emily can't make it today. Normally she runs the call. She's out conferencing somewhere, probably speaking. Um, So I will share screen here. A link to the meeting minutes is not in the chat yet. Um, Everyone got the meeting minutes? No, not desktop. Chrome. There we go. Okay. Copy that. Paste it in the chat. Okay. Everyone, please add your name to the list of contributors in today's call. Short agenda. Low attendance day. Again, it's in the US, it's election day, and there's a conference. So I know some of the folks in Germany probably won't be able to attend. Um, so there's two things I've got. One is the program plan ballot is out. So please review the program plan um, and vote on the ballot. I will. Oh, Majid is joining. Roberto, I'll vote for Red Hat. It's due November 15th. So, I mean, there's a little bit of time, but vote early. Sorry, a reference there to the US election. So vote early. And let's see if we can close this maybe within a week. Um, the second thing I have is received an email, me and Kevin Sutter, interestingly enough. So somewhere the Eclipse Foundation still has Kevin Sutter as kind of like a co-lead um, to uh, as point contacts in moving anything under the GitHub, sorry, .com/Eclipse repo to a separate repo. Each project. It's just becoming unmanageable, I think, um, for the Eclipse Foundation to manage everything under the Eclipse umbrella. So what they want to do is have each project um, have their own organization, GitHub organization or GitLab or wherever organization to make it more manageable. So sorry, I have two links. Um, Sorry, moving around a little bit here. There's two links here. It might be hard to see. One is their broader initiative. So you could take a look at that with the justification and um, you can go look at comments that other projects have made. And this GitLab issue is specific to MicroProfile. Okay. So um, if you take a look, this is the benefits, the reasoning behind wanting to do this, right? And you can see, some of it is, I don't think it's a benefit to kind of encourage us to be more proactive in moving. Like we could brand our own site, right? Which we've already done. We already have a MicroProfile GitHub repo. Clarity in separation so people can go to one GitHub organization and see all the projects for that organization, right? I think some of them, like here, I think is probably more direct self-service, right? Where it's easier for us to manage our GitHub organization, right, and do things ourselves as opposed to potentially having to go to the Eclipse Foundation to do things. So part of it could be a resourcing thing, right? And I actually don't think this is overall is a bad idea. Um, and there's also security advantages, right? Limit the blast radius if someone happens to, hack into the GitHub repo of the Eclipse organization, right? So, there are some additional like security benefits as well. Um, I haven't dug too deep into this as of yet, but what you'll see is, sorry, that's the wrong one. Where do they put it? Maybe I haven't opened the window yet. So you can follow, track along with what Emily and I are doing. The first, so you can see here, they CC'd Kevin.
Mhm.
So we've asked them to include Emily um, as a kind of co-lead, I guess, for lack of a better word, for the project instead of Kevin. Um, so what you'll see is what Emily replied. And Emily and I did actually chat about this. Um, it looks like all of our projects will have to be under github.com/microprofile slash whatever. If you take a look, this is what it looks like right now, right? This is the, oops, sorry. This is the branding up. Oh, well, you probably can't see it if I with my cursor. Right, we've got our own branding, right? Stuff like that. The Eclipse Foundation is already an admin of this organization. So I don't think there's anything special that we have to do from a governance perspective. Um, Although I did ask a question about that. Sorry, no, I'm looking for the GitHub project. Here we go. This is the one specific to MicroProfile. So Matt said he can actually, he can go, he can move our github.com/eclipse/microprofile repos to the MicroProfile organization. Um, he's delayed it by 30 days. Technically, it was supposed to be done at the end of October. And then we kind of caught this. So he's extended it 30 days. So my question is, right, given this move to the Eclipse, sorry, to the MicroProfile GitHub organization, what does this impact? Right? So one of them is going to be probably our builds and our build scripts. And what do we have to do from our build script perspective? Um, is there anything else that we have to consider with this move to the MicroProfile GitHub organization besides build scripts?
Now, what about broken links in general? I mean, I assume they're going to do some sort of redirects, but how long will that be done for?
Yeah, it sounds like some redirects already happen. Um, for the recent GitHub Eclipse Foundation move, GitHub automatically created redirects. Oh, so I asked about the MicroProfile wiki specifically because that was something I was, that we just moved. He said it actually automatically creates redirects. So this may not be an issue. Um, so, if they move it, and it sounds like some projects have already moved and they haven't had any problems. So my guess is that if we did nothing, because of the redirects, things may continue to work, right? Obviously, this
Right.
is not a long-term
Yeah.
strategy.
Would they take away the redirects after a certain amount of time, though?
Yeah, well, that's a question for us to ask, right? And to look in the broader GitLab issue. Somebody may have already asked this question, but these are good things to kind of capture here. So, so I'm going to actually write this down. Redirects will be created. Will this break any of our build scripts slash Jenkins job? So Nathan, I'm gonna put my name here just as people who brought up the subject. Um, Nathan, is there a time limit for redirects? This is a, decent short-term solution. Redirects is a is there anything else that we kind of need to think about? Because you guys kind of deal more with the broader microprofile projects at the Git level. I tend to do it just at the microprofile platform spec level.
Yeah, I mean, for my experience, moving some stuff from GitHub, I mean, GitHub does create automatic redirects, but I have no idea for how long they are available. Um, so usually GitHub is pretty good at it. You usually don't get broken links when you move. Right now, I can't think of anything that's going to break as long as GitHub is able to do all the redirecting, which usually it's able to do.
Should we pick a project and move it, and then try and just run our Jenkins job on it? I mean, to me, that sounds like a, a decent approach to just verify things work.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to just choose one and see what happens.
Does anyone want to volunteer a project? I mean, hopefully it doesn't take any work. It's going to be working in the GitLab issue, the MicroProfile GitLab issue. We could talk about the approach, have him move just to one project, and then we run a build script, a Jenkins job. So hopefully it's not a lot of work. Thoughts? No volunteers? I'll ping Emily. Oops.
I mean, I guess probably not one where there's a lot of active development going on that we could disrupt.
Yeah, agreed.
That's
Agreed.
probably, I think a lot of them aren't really doing a whole lot right now.
Maybe one of the reactive ones,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think?
Do it with open tracing.
Ah, good idea. Good idea. Because that one's kind of defunct.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Let's win project and test Jenkins job. No longer under active development. Okay. I'll tell you what, I can initiate the repo move with Matt Ward, Clips Foundation, and we can run a Jenkins job to test. Okay.
Do
So
we
I'll
lose
go
our
ahead and bring
committer
up on the
list
issue.
when we
Sorry,
switch
Nathan?
project? Sorry, do we lose our committer list when we do this? Or
Oh, good. Roberto, you've kind of done this before. Have
No, I
you?
mean that all of that is going. So when you move the project, so all the configuration that's set on that project, right? So moves away with that project, right? So you usually have a committer list that's associated to the project, right? So that also goes away. I mean goes away. I mean it goes linked to the project that you are moving. The good thing about having the organization is that you're no longer going to require to set committers per project. So you can even, I mean, probably you still want to have committers per project, but because you have an org, then you can have org-wide committers that can commit to any repo, which which Eclipse won't do that before, right?
Yeah, because that's kind of we in MicroProfile technically are only one project, right? Philosophically. So a
Yeah.
committer could commit to any spec.
But yes, I mean all the configurations that are associated to the repository move with the repository. So committers are not going to they're not going to get lost unless I mean unless Eclipse is doing something really out of the ordinary, which I believe that should probably not be doing. If you follow the GitHub process, which basically is just like a setting in the administration tools where you can go over there and say, I want to move this project to another place. If they do that, I mean, it's all on GitHub doing all that work. So
Okay.
all the repo, I mean, all the settings for the repository are persisted and move away with the repository as well. for including commuter list issues, right? Um, discussions, if there are discussions, so pretty much everything that's associated with the repository. In reality, for GitHub, it's just like a rename, right?
You mean rename with the name change? Well,
Well, I mean, if you think about that
yeah,
technically, I mean, for GitHub, it's just a rename because what you have is, let's just say sorry, let's just say it's MicroProfile tracing, right? So it's like Eclipse slash MicroProfile tracing, and now it's going to become, I don't know what's the org name. It's going to be like MicroProfile slash MicroProfile tracing. So in terms of Eclipse, sorry, in terms for GitHub, it's just a rename internally for them. So as long as you follow the settings or the administration settings to do the renames or to do the move, it should be straightforward.
what about like, is there anything with, maybe it's not the anything around security, like keys or anything like that?
Well, that's a good question. So keys that are associated with the repo also move. Well, keys that are associated with the org, they don't move, right? Because they belong to the org, they don't belong to the repo. So if there are things on the repository that are using wide organization secrets, then they're going to lose that
Okay.
access. But as
And we
far as
don't have any of that, right? The Eclipse Foundation does.
yes, I mean, no, because the builds and the releases are done by Jenkins. So secrets are exposed on Jenkins, not GitHub. So usually you only expose. So from my experience, you only require secrets for things that when you want to have like a token for Sonar, or you want to have a token to sign the artifacts, or you want to have a token to deploy it to Central. But all of those actions, they are done on Jenkins. So the secrets that and the tokens that are required are exposed on Jenkins, not GitHub. So as far as I know, there are no secrets that we require at GitHub level.
Okay. Yeah, I think I understand that. I think I got that. Are there any other thoughts about how this may impact us?
Um, what about steps for developers who have forked the repository? Do they need to do anything? Or is or the
Oh,
or
it's the exact same
the
thing. So let me give you another example. So do you remember when GitHub made the change of having the default branch to be um, main instead of master? Right. So if you follow their process to do the rename, then all of that will be handled on the main repo and forks and all of that. So for moving, it's pretty much the same.
So the redirect should work if somebody's done a fork? Is
Yes.
that okay?
Yeah, that just reduces to the other question about whether the redirects are gonna disappear at some point then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's the thing that I don't know, but probably let me do like a quick search over here because that's probably documented
Well, let me see
on
if somebody's already asked the question. Yeah, this is the top level issue.
so looking here, and they're apparently they're saying that they keep them permanently.
Yeah, someone did bring it up, right? So we should look at with my point being we should look at some of the existing questions before we actually pose the question ourselves. Matt Bertain. I don't know Matt Bertain. Matt Ward is the Eclipse Foundation. So I'm just trying to figure out which org he's with. Yeah, I don't know who he's with, but I don't think it's Eclipse Foundation. I lost my search. There we go. Everything will continue to work with Redux in place. However, we start changing the URL used in the library, then this will force all users to make the same update across their code bases. As such, I'm keen to understand the redirects will be permanent, or do you foresee a time limit to these? The feedback in the form of GitHub with regard to, so it sounds like this is more a question to GitHub than the Eclipse Foundation. That's where I'm looking for anything else. No, that's it. This is the only question here. So I guess that, one question is specifically to the Eclipse Foundation. Does the Eclipse Foundation foresee a need to request redirects be removed? So that's a second question. Okay. Let me see here. I'm going to paste this in the meeting minutes here. Work. Question on redirects here. Question. On. My typing is leaving something to be desired here. Okay. These are questions that we can ask. Any other thoughts? It looks like it's pretty seamless, which would be pretty awesome.
Yes, it is.
Cool. Thanks, Roberto. I'm glad someone here's got experience with having to do this. It really helps out a lot. So I'll ask Roberto, if I run into issues with open tracing, then maybe you could help out resolve any potential issues or identify what the issue is.
Sure.
Okay. I'll see if I can make a or take a crack at it. Well, I'll first bring it up to the Google group, get feedback, and if there's no concerns, then I'll just attempt uh, to have open tracing moved first. Okay. All right. Are there any other topics for today? Okay. I was going to bring up one last thing, but I don't know. The specs, the specifications pages have been created. I haven't gone through all of them yet, but it looks like that we have them filled out. So if there's any desire to kind of validate these and check these out, please do so. I haven't heard of any issues. So that's the last thing I've got. Last chance for any additional topics? 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks everyone. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next week at the live hangout, hopefully.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.